Hi, everyone. Welcome to Talking Tech with Creative Podcast as we dive into the intersection of technology and creativity. I'm Stella Oni, a creative who thrives in the worlds of writing, food, and technology. I love exploring different mediums to share my passions. By day, I work in a tech industry, and by night, I craft crime fiction. My police procedural, Deadly Sacrifice, was published a few years ago, and I'm currently working on a sequel to that, as well as the first of a new mystery series called the London House Mystery Series. The premise of that book is a housekeeper with a secret who went under for about 30 years, and she met a tech genius who also had his own issues, and it was just a fantastic story out of that, set in a beautiful hotel in Knightsbridge, London. I also review books, which you can find on TikTok and under the names S. Oni the Writer and Stella Oni the Writer. So you can find them on TikTok, my book reviews, or on YouTube. Food is another passion of mine. I love to write about food, especially Nigerian food. I think I love the way food brings people together, communities together. And I just write my stories around food. So when I like a particular kind of food, I'll write a story around it. And it's quite, people are reading it. People are quite interested in it. So if you want to read that, you can go to my blog, stellaonithewriter.com/blog. In today's episode, we'll be diving into the world of film and media. We've done so many things. We've covered law, we've covered culture and the future of tech in Africa with Obiasika. We've covered self-publishing. We've covered there's the one coming, there's two that are coming, but one of them is going to be on augmented reality. And all of them is just going to be simple enough for you to understand and see what you can use and how you can use that for yourself in terms of your skills and in terms of what you've got. So this you're gonna enjoy this interview. So my guest today is Okafor, because I spelled his name wrong. It was a dictionary, not me using Izu. So Izu is a film and media specialist. And he's going to tell us a bit about himself, because where he came from, what he studied, he's different from where he is now. So I was so curious. I just had to invite him to this interview. So Izu, tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay. Hello, good evening, everybody. I don't know how to start. So my name is Izu Okafor. I'm an Igbo Nigerian. I was born in the East. I grew up in Enugu.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently a filmmaker. I didn't study film. So
I know.
I didn't study film. So, but then I remember while growing up, I remember Enugu had those. I remember seeing Ositaheme, Aki and Popo, as we popularly call them. Like when I remember seeing them going to film like then, but then I realized I didn't have passion for film. I just enjoyed film like every other person. As at then, I just love watching film. Like everybody's watching film now. What do you have to do? You just watch film, come back, watch cartoons, watch film. So that was it while growing up. And I think at first, I think in my primary school, I wanted to be a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And in my junior secondary, I wanted to be an accountant because I thought, oh, they're going to have money, they're going to have a system. then I think it was in my senior secondary that I now decided, okay, why not radiography?
Oh my God! So I'm counting. I'm counting.
And that was what I wrote in my jam. I tried writing the first time. I didn't. I got up to the cutoff mark. Went to the school, wrote the position. I wasn't selected, obviously, because of something they called Education Less Developed State (ELDS). I learned it that 2012. So the cutoff mark, I got up to 250.
Okay.
And that's more than, I don't know, that's more than 250 over 3. Was it 3? No, 400. So I got up to 250.
Okay.
So, and the cutoff mark for that particular course was 200. But then for people from my state, the cutoff mark is 275.
Wow. That's
so, and then people from some parts of the north, it's 210. I saw the sheet and I was like, wow.
Why is it different?
That means, and that was, I don't know if I should call it, it's University of Calabar. it's a federal university. So I feel they're trying to make, they're not doing it based on, I think it's equity. So they
Okay.
could be able to accommodate the different people
That
they
is
have.
so
And
that is so unfair. That is so unfair.
so I
Yeah.
don't know, they felt some were more intelligent than the other people and all. So that's why, because you're from Imo State, you are very intelligent. You guys have universities, you guys have state. But I didn't grow up in Imo State. I grew up in Enugu. I spent all my life in Enugu.
Yeah.
So I wrote the first jam, and the second jam I had to write the same course again. And the third one, I was now frustrated. After staying at home 3 years, I was like, damn.
Trying to
So
do. Yeah. Let me just jump in a little bit and interrupt a little bit for our audience. So Imo State, yeah, is in
yes,
Nigeria. So if you're hearing Enugu and Imo State, can you explain a little? Just tell us. So Imo State is in Nigeria, Enugu, and he's talking about when we have federal exams everywhere in the world have different kind of entry exams. So this is the exam to the university. Is it to the university? Is it your
yes, to
university
the
exam?
university.
Okay.
Yes,
So 3 years we're trying to get into
a
a course.
university.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's
so,
frustrating. Yeah.
so it was the third
And
year sorry, you're saying something?
yeah, no, I would say the cutoff marks for the entry is different for each state in Nigeria. So some
Yes, it's
people have a
different.
lower entry and other people
Yes,
have a higher entry. And yours was,
yes.
you came
Yeah,
from a
that
place
was
that
in
had a high
2012.
entry. Yeah,
In
so that was in
2012.
2012. Yeah.
I don't know if it works
If it's
like
changed
that
now.
now.
Yeah.
In 2012, this I saw education ELDS. I wouldn't forget that word because it traumatized me. I was now wishing, assuming I'm from maybe one of the states, I would have gotten it, but then I think it's part of God's plan because I believe everything is purpose and time and all.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was too young. I left secondary school fairly young as compared to people
Okay.
my age. So I
Okay.
left secondary school at, was it 15 or so?
Okay. So you were smart. You were smart. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm.
I left secondary school in time. So 3 years, then clocked it up. So I was 18 when I got into university, 18 going to 19.
Which is
So
the average age actually. So you would
yeah,
have
so
gotten in earlier if you, yeah, it's the average
yeah.
age. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that I say I think it's the timing, purpose, and all.
Yeah.
So I'm a Christian, I'm a believer. So to an extent, I feel God has a plan for everybody and it's not
Yeah.
just random.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got the admission, I applied for that particular third year. I first
Yeah.
applied for radiography. But
Uh-huh.
after thinking, I was like, twice beaten. Twice. So I had to go. I loved geography while I was in school. I love reading map. I could at my time in school, secondary school, I could tell you, you call this country, I tell you the capital. From Central America to every part of the world.
So you'd have
I
loved travel. I'm sure you'd
I love
enjoy travel.
traveling. I
Yeah.
love traveling. I've been
Mm.
to I think over 15 states in Nigeria. I
Wow.
love
That's
or more than I
brilliant.
don't know. So I love traveling. I love
Mm-hmm.
traveling a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I then thought, okay, maybe I could just do geography. So I then
Yeah.
applied for a particular school, Mara University. It's at Abia State in Nigeria.
Okay.
And what I applied there was first because I was interested in the medical line because of
Mm-hmm.
the safety, job safety, and all. You have
Yeah.
this.
Security. Yeah.
So I applied for human nutrition and dietetics then.
Okay.
But then while waiting, my uncle called me and was like, why not choose Imo State University? That was
Okay.
like a suggestion. Why not choose Imo State University? You are from Imo State. And
Okay.
prior to that time, I've never been to Owerri.
So where
18
is
years of
so
my
where,
life.
so where is where? Oh, where is where?
Owerri is the capital of Imo State. It's
So
like the way London is the capital of the county or whatever.
yeah. Is it
So
yeah.
it's the Abuja is FCT, Lagos, Ikeja is Lagos.
Where that going?
So
Yeah.
Owerri is the
Is the
capital. I always
capital?
of Imo State. So
Mm-hmm.
like where everything happens. That's how I went to do change of course. So I changed and then I switched over to IMSU. Then I chose geography and environmental management. It's called
Yeah.
geography
I
and
saw that.
environmental
Yeah,
management.
because yeah.
But interestingly, when I was admitted, I saw my name on the admission list. The name I saw was Animal and Environmental Biology. And sincerely,
How did that happen?
prior to that time, I've never heard of such a course ever
So
in my whole life.
where was your name against that? Long
So I
story.
was like, what is this? And I came to Owerri that day. I came from Enugu to Owerri. It's like a 3 hours drive.
Yeah.
From Enugu to Owerri to come and check the admission list and all. To come and accept the admission and all. I said 3 years, man. I cannot stay at home. I not get straight. I don't have the time to stay at home again.
Yeah.
So so I just paid for the admission and then the admission requirement.
And you did it, and you did the course.
Yes.
So in fact, you got the course by accident.
I don't know how it happened. She did.
Oh my God.
I don't know what happened.
But you did it. How was it? Before we move on, very quickly, because we still have a lot to go. We still have a long way to go. How was the 3 years?
It's 4.
Any animals?
It's 4 years.
How was the 4 years?
I think it was exciting.
Really?
It was exciting.
Was it practical? Was it practical?
Yeah, but I can't forget the first year was terrible.
Okay.
The first year was terrible. I think it was a personal thing because I didn't go away. Moving from I was expecting a whole lot. I don't know if you've been to Enugu. Enugu is.
I haven't been to the east. That's the only place I didn't go to in Nigeria.
Wow.
Never been to the east of Nigeria. I will make up. I will make up for it. I will make up for it.
So Enugu had UNN, like University of Nigeria, and Nsukka. It had ASUT, it had IMT. And I've been to all the schools. I see what the environment is like. It has the university vibe. But then I come to IMSU then. That was 2014.
Was it like a village?
And I was asking myself, what am I doing here?
Was it really?
Because it wasn't like a village, but then it wasn't giving me the educational experience you're supposed to get out and experience and love. Why? Because the idea of going to a school, I think you need to get connected to a school before you don't just randomly.
Yeah.
So, but then it wasn't giving it. So first year I was just I was skipping classes. I was trying to attend classes, but the classes were so crowded. Jesus.
So let's move on. So then you were able to do it and you finished.
Yes. I specialize in hydrobiology and aquaculture.
I saw it and I was like, wow, what is that? But anyway, so how did you get from there to film? Because yes,
after service year 2020, that was the COVID year. After serving, I served in Adama. It is Northeast Nigeria.
Yeah, so you have to do the mandatory youth service. Yeah, which is working youth service in Nigeria. When you finish your university, you have to serve in the government. It's almost like you're serving the government for a year. You work with the government for a year. They pay you stipend. So you call it NYSC, isn't it? Yeah. So every university student, graduate has to do the youth service in Nigeria.
Yes.
So that's So you did 1 year. You did it in. Did you say you did it in 2020?
Yes, 2020.
My goodness.
I started in 2019.
Yeah.
And then ended 2020.
So you're lucky before COVID.
Yes. It was during the COVID year because my service year was interesting.
Okay. So then you were there, and then what made you go into? I still want to know the connection between.
Okay, so while I was serving there,
I
think I was still doing. Actually, at that point in my life, I was looking out for work, get a job, start working for somebody and getting paid. The entrepreneurship mindset in me was not yet there. What I had more was social entrepreneurship. That was majorly like all my life I've been doing social entrepreneurship, and definitely you don't make money through that.
Okay. So when you say social, what did you mean by social entrepreneurship?
Okay, when I was in school, I started something called Uncommon Me. Uncommon Me was a way to, because I remember my first year in school was terrible. I didn't connect to the school, and I noticed after I survived it, I realized that I'm not the only one. It happens to a whole lot of year ones. So I had to find a way. It was called Uncommon Me. You need to discover that you're uncommon in this particular environment that you're finding that you're being introduced to. So you need to go beyond the common. So I took it above, I started, I don't know, but it was something I started doing, and I started reaching out to a lot of students, and we did our first event then in 2016, where we invited some speakers to talk to us about personal development, like what we could do to get better as people, as individuals. So that was
brilliant.
2016.
Yeah.
And also, one of my speakers was Izu Okafor. He's from America, but he stays in America. He contested for the mayor of Dallas. That was, I don't know how many times, but he stayed there. So he was one of my guests. Then I did.
What did you call it? What is his name?
Ejike Okafor.
Okay.
He's from Enugu State.
And he came to speak then.
Yes, he came to
We don't
school.
know, yeah, we don't know the seed that we sow in people's lives, isn't it? Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We started also through the uncommon meet, the young people, like most of the people that we are also doing, we are passionate about the kind of thing I was passionate about. That's giving back and trying to get ourselves better. We
Yeah.
started this help. We called it help, high school emerging leaders program, where we go to secondary schools,
Mm-hmm.
educate them on basic tech skills,
Oh,
ICT,
that's
Microsoft
brilliant.
Office, and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So when I was in Adama, I was doing the same stuff.
So this is
Because
kind of almost like a grassroots thing that you were doing.
yes, yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward, how I got into film after service here, I got a job at a bank. So when I was told the pay, Jesus, I was like, God, this is from frying pan to fire. I'm a first
Really?
son and I have 4 younger siblings.
And the money was not
I'm the
enough.
first person from my side of the family to graduate from the university.
Oh, wow. That's a lot
So
of
a lot is expected from me.
you.
So I can't be earning 45,000 naira in 2020. I
Mm.
don't know what I can do with it. So
Is that a year?
no, 45,000 naira is $1
Oh,
right now is
is that a
1,600
month or a year?
a month, a month,
Okay, good. So
a month. So
45,000 naira a month. Oh my God,
a
that's
month, a month.
a
So
month.
I was thinking about what do I do? What do I do? So my cousin then, his name is Ibu Kama. He suggested why not learn video editing.
Oh,
That was the suggestion,
so like a
and
skill, like a skill.
yes, it's skill. So that was how we made some calls. I got connected to Stevie Donaji.
Hmm?
Stevie Donaji is a filmmaker. He was
Yes,
based
I
in
saw him.
Enugu.
Yeah.
Then I had to move because then I was in Asaba. I had
Mm-hmm.
to move from Asaba to back to Enugu to come and learn video editing. That was 2021 August. I trained between August, September, October, November. I was exposed to my first real life set experience as an editor. But then, sincerely, being an editor was tough because my first month, my boss traveled to Ghana for a film project.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there with some of the guys in the office,
Mm-hmm.
and they were not carrying me along in what editing was. They were making it feel so difficult at that
Mm-hmm.
stage. So
Yeah.
it was tough. It was really tough. But then we were able to. So that was how I started. And then my boss bought a camera, a Black Magic.
I don't know
He
much about.
bought
Yeah.
it's called a Black Magic camera, Black
Ah.
Magic pocket camera. Then so I was like, boss, let's film. Like I wanted to film because I've been on set and I was like seeing people do
Mm-hmm.
film and I was excited about the whole filming thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh yeah, let's make a film. Let's make a film. So fast forward to 2022,
Mm-hmm.
shot a film then, and during the planning of this project, I didn't know I was a production manager until while on set, somebody called me PM.
Because you pulled it all together. I product, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
You're
I
producing,
was the one that
you're
did
the
the
link.
scouting for
Yeah, everything.
location,
Yeah.
finding the actors, what's like I was the one that did almost everything except the ones my boss did. So I
Mm.
didn't know this had a title in the industry. I didn't like I've not been exposed to
So
stuff
you're a
like this.
producer.
So that was how I did my first project with my boss there. And
Mm.
I was like excited. Though after that project I broke down for a week. And
Yeah.
that was January. Then March, my friend sent a script to me. Is it cool? I have a script. Let's work. That was perfect distraction. And I was like, I had small money on me then. I've
Mm-hmm.
saved up, but so yeah, I told him, I come to Enugu, let's film. He came from Owerri to Enugu. We filmed that particular. It was an experimental project. It was.
So what tools did you use? Because some of those tools can be quite expensive. Did you hire tools?
Yes, you get the
Okay.
camera, you get the sound equipment, you get the light,
Mm-hmm.
you get the lenses, and then you also need the manpower. You need people that are professionals and a cinematographer, will call them a gaffer, someone that does the lighting and stuff. The sound recorder is someone that is also good with taking clear audio sounds. If not, you get professional actors, so people that can act, so they don't give you pictures looking like.
So you really had to make it look professional. Wow.
Yes. So that was basically how I think I came in through the back door and then producing. So in 2022, I moved to Owerri.
Okay.
After I finished training with my boss, because then I was in Enugu, I moved to Owerri.
Yeah.
And take note, this was a town I didn't like before.
Yeah.
I was running from Owerri.
Okay, yes. You moved back
I
to
moved back to Owerri because why I moved to Owerri was this. I felt Enugu has all it takes. Enugu has all it takes when it comes to film. Enugu is like the Lagos of Southeast.
Definitely. Enugu is very well known. Yeah.
Yeah, Owerri is still like a village, a country home, or I don't know what to call it. But then,
Yeah.
filmmakers here. But then, I don't think the filmmakers here don't. I don't know what they are plan on doing with films, but the vision I see in filmmaking is I'm thinking big projects. I'm thinking Netflix. I'm thinking 100 people on set trying to make a project work. I'm thinking like that's what I'm seeing,
Yeah.
and I've not seen such in Owerri.
Yeah.
They do a project. They do guerrilla filmmaking.
But then couldn't you then be the one to be there? Because if you were in Owerri, what will stop you from being in Owerri and being the one to start it at that level?
Okay, let me don't rush.
Okay.
So then, last year I did my first feature film. It's
Yeah,
called Inobi.
I saw that. Yes.
Called Inobi.
Yeah.
And truth is, this story was sent to me by a friend sometime in 2021 when I started learning video editing. That was when he sent that story.
Yeah.
You know how people just send a synopsis? Or
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, I like this. We're going to work on this.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
2022, I started planning and filmmaking. Like we had a budget. Like the budget then was I was looking at a 9 million naira budget, 9 plus something million.
Okay.
But then there was no 9 million naira available to make that kind of produce. So I had to start cutting down. As a producer, what a producer does is save money. That's what most people don't do. A producer saves money. Find the best way.
Yeah, because you have to find the funds. So yeah. Yeah.
So find the best way to make something happen and make it happen. There is no excuses. Who will you give the excuses to? Because the rain fell, I could not. No, there's nobody to hear the I could not. And if I tell people I filmed at the state command, Imo State Police Command headquarters for Imo State in Owerri.
Yeah.
And I did not pay thanks to the PPRO. I wasn't paying. If you know
So
about
but they helped you. They helped with the location.
They helped
That's
me.
fantastic.
Because but then it was funny because we started filming and we had a schedule. So we're planning to us. We didn't get approval on time from the states telling us come. I think I went to the police station over 15 times, tried to get an approval.
Yeah.
To film there. But still I didn't get the approval. So when we finished the first bit of the film, it was just remaining that particular location, the police station location. We waited. I waited 6 weeks. That time my crew and cast has gone. I'm just looking at the film, the script, that what we've shot. And then when I got the confirmation from the PPRO, I had to come back, call everybody back. Some of the people I could call back, but this one time around was you had to cut down because when I did the first film, I had people from Lagos, from Enugu, from Bayelsa, from Udo, from
already waiting,
yeah. But this time around, we just had to cut down, make do what we have in a way because we just had 2 days to film.
Okay.
There's that particular location. So that was what happened. That was like how we made that project happen. And funny enough, when I was making that project, I've never done any particular project in Owerri. But then I heard people come to my set and was like, people that are in film already in Owerri, they'll be like, have you met this guy? He's doing cinema standard. And it felt nice hearing it from people that have not worked with me before. They just came to the film set and they believe that whatever I'm doing is the standard of it's a cinema standard.
That's fantastic.
And sincerely, I felt really nice.
So how long did it take you to film?
I did the first 6 days and then the last bits were 2 days. So that's altogether 8 days.
8 days, wow. With budget. So did you manage within the budget that you set? So you exceeded
we didn't even get up to 6 million.
Fantastic. So you're a great producer.
We didn't get up to 6 million.
Yeah. So let me come.
Yeah, I think okay, sorry.
Go on then, sorry.
Because I didn't pay myself. I didn't pay
you can't pay yourself, you're just starting, so you can't pay yourself.
Pay most of my it was more like a partnership with some of my team because at the end of the day, if I check and balance, the budget is 6 million. Okay. But then I had to meet with some people and discuss, okay, this is the vision for this project. Okay. This is what we expect to do.
Okay.
I don't know. There's a contract. We signed a contract. And when we start making money from this project, this is what you're going to get based on your input. So it's not like we didn't pay, but then we handled the logistics for them, but we didn't actually pay them. Like you're paying someone to do a job for you. We just handled what we could handle and then transportation, accommodation and stuff.
It sounds really exciting. So before I go to my next question,
yes,
there are 2 questions I want to ask you. One of them I need to ask you now, which is, so are you firmly a filmmaker now? I know you're film and media, or is there other things around that? Because where you started from and where you are now, do you believe that this is it for you now and you continue on this stream? Because especially with finance and all that.
Yeah, currently, right now, I don't know what the future holds, but
Okay.
then I know I'm going to be in film for. I've developed this passion. The way fast forward, I started a film festival in Owerri
I
last
saw
year.
that. Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
So when I came in, there was no film festival.
Look at that.
And film
Now you were able
festival,
to
it's
start a film. You This is what I'm saying now, that you're setting a trend where you think people are not, they're not at the standard they should be. You're starting a film festival.
so it was the first day because when I came in 2022, I was talking with the filmmakers around here.
Yeah.
Is there any film festival? They said there is Villa Fest, but Villa Fest was more of a cultural festival. I think the emphasis was on. I can't tell, but then there was not. It was not giving me the Afri, the Sundance, the Venice, the
All
Berliner
those kind of,
vibe.
yeah.
So it didn't give me. So I was thinking of something that could give that kind of vibe in the Southeast, something like Coast Film Festival. So I started talking to them. The plan was not to start it at that point. I didn't have the funds to do
Yeah.
such kind of
Yeah.
events.
Yeah.
I was now recommending it to them. I'm available. Do something like this. I will work with you on it. That was the suggestion that I met. I think I met Mr. Chuma. I met some other people that I know. I waited 2022. Nobody was doing anything. 2023 first quarter, nobody was doing anything. I was like, if I stay like this now, I will end a whole year in Imo State, a state I plan on being in, I moved to. And I didn't go for any film events. Film events is where filmmakers get to, it's like a creative space for filmmakers where you meet other filmmakers, talk about film, talk about the projects you guys are going to work on. It's where you get to say iron sharpness iron, definitely.
That's it. Yeah, networking. You're networking. Where you're
yeah. So, but then I was like, well, no problem. Then I started downloading books about how to organize film festivals. I downloaded a whole lot, listened to a whole lot, watched. I'm sure I read over 800 pages.
Wow.
Of different content, trying to learn. I think some of them from the British Film Institute. I had one document like that from different places.
Yeah.
I was just researching
I just attended a film festival, American Black Film Festival.
Wow.
They connected with Soul Festival in Britain. Now, I am in the writing world. I'm a crime fiction author, and I've not done any film at all. I've not done anything in film, but I'm in technology. But I know I'm going to do something in film at some point. So I just thought that sounds interesting, and the film was good, and it was brilliant. I met the coordinator, the founder. Her name is Nicola. I think her name is Nicole or Nicole Friday or Nicola Friday. Nicole Friday. She was a lovely woman. They founded this, I think, did they say about 30 years ago?
Wow.
I think it's a long time, about 30 or 20 years ago. Sorry, Nicole, if I got the years wrong. But she was just a lovely woman. And I took a photo with her. And I thought, look at this. So they came to Britain to come, and they said that's the second time they're in Britain.
Wow.
So for you to, and I was in the BFI. So it was the British Film Institute.
Wow.
It's in where they call it South Bank in England here. And the BFI are always showcasing film. They always have film festivals. I've never been to any, not once.
Wow.
But I've always been writing. Yeah. So it's interesting now that you wanted to do this film festival and you had to now read and read. So tell us, so then what now happened?
So I now started talking to people that I felt that were going to be interested. I had to build a team of like minds first. Talk to people. I think I tried convincing a lot of people then. Seek advice, and I had to meet also. I talked to a particular founder of a festival in Nigeria, Ibadan International Film Festival. I met him. His name is Blackie Ogunlade.
Okay.
So, Ogunlade or something, but Blackie. I know he's at Usman
International Film Festival.
So I spoke with him, and then he told me what to do because they were in their third year already, as I 2023, and then their third year. So I think he told me, and before then, I volunteered.
Ibadan Film Festival.
Yeah, Ibadan International Film Festival.
International, okay.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Wow.
I lived in Ibadan, and Ibadan influenced me. I didn't live in my, I don't think I even stayed up to, I think I stayed about 2 years in Ibadan when I was a child. Ibadan
Wow.
influenced me.
Wow.
Ibadan should have gone far in film because Ibadan influenced me in film. They were very, when it came to film and theater, they were leading in
Yes.
Nigeria. I don't know what
Yes.
happened. So I'm happy now that there's an Ibadan Film Festival. I will find out more about it because I was quite influenced. Some of the things I'm doing now in writing, some of it was
Yes.
influenced by film and theater in
Wow.
Ibadan. And even I
Wow.
got to know how to read Yoruba because I was in Ibadan.
Wow.
So I can
Wow.
write and read Yoruba, not fluently. I can write and read Yoruba. I can write because I know, I don't know, have you ever heard of Fagunwa? D.O.
Fagua.
Fagunwa. D.O. Fagunwa wrote the Forest of the Thousand Demons. He wrote books in Yoruba. He
Wow.
wrote, yeah, D.O. Fagunwa, he wrote books in Yoruba. And they were very mythical books that, and in those days I wanted to make, I was like, I'm going to try and make a Fagunwa's books into films. And Wole Soyinka
Wow.
actually translated one of his books.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was in Ibadan. So Ibadan was the heart of when it came to theater and
Yes.
TV and even radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell us, I keep interrupting because you are taking me back to the past as well. It's interesting, yeah. So you were
So,
able to do the film festival. You were able to,
yeah.
you brought
Yes,
it
we
together.
have. Yes, we held the first edition. After
Wow.
we actually changed the date 2 times. It was supposed to be September, then we moved it to October.
So that was last year.
Yes, and
Okay.
then to November.
Okay.
Because September, I checked, I was not ready.
Okay.
There was We wrote for sponsors, but then who would sponsor a first year, a median
Mm.
edition of an event? Nobody.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of canceling, but man,
Yeah.
there's no excuse. I can't tell somebody I was planning, I planned, and then you planned and you did not do it. It does not make sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
It does not. I believe in doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward to October, November, I was able to do the festival. But prior to them, we had over, was it 80 something films submitted from around the world, from different countries.
Oh, so it was like from different, you actually invited. So this is not just,
Filmmakers to,
so this was not Imo. This was like
uh,
a film festival. What was it? Is it Imo Film Festival?
Imo International Film Festival.
Imo International Film Festival, inviting films from around the world.
Yes, we invited filmmakers to submit their projects to
Around
the
the
film.
world.
Yes. We have films from Philippines, Italy, Scotland, America,
So,
Argentina, Tanzania,
okay.
all over the world.
What was the concept? So when you say a film, I need to understand it because, of course, I never had time to talk to Nicole to say, okay, so when you say a film festival, yeah, in
Yes.
not very many words, tell me what the concept of you having a film festival, what was the concept behind it? What did you want to get out of it? What was the idea of it?
Okay, the idea was because most people around here, we are limited to the films we see.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is always a limitation placed. It's a barrier that you cannot see.
So is it so you're limited to the people that are streaming, the studio
Streaming,
streaming, yeah.
yes.
Okay.
But then what our idea is to also see independent filmmakers like myself, because most of us don't get the
And
opportunity
share
to
ideas.
put projects on Netflix, Prime, and at this particular stage of our lives. And then
Yes.
most of our original projects, the ones we did while toiling and all this, is the guerrilla style, definitely. These are where we poured our passion and art out because there was no particular 1 million or $10 million that you're working with, that
Yes.
big studios were working with, because that was it. So wanted to see independent filmmakers celebrate their films, look at what they did, and say, okay, this is nice, this is good, and celebrate them from all over the world.
Yeah.
So we got a film called With Love from Bielsa. It was shot in Bielsa by PMD. The guy is called PMD. It was also selected for AFRIF Africa International Film Festival. That's the biggest film festival in the whole of Africa.
International. Where is that say? Is that in I don't want to say whether it's in South
It's
Africa.
done in Lagos currently.
Okay.
It's been
Africa
resident in
is
Lagos.
really
Yes.
International Film Festival.
Yes. It's the
Okay.
biggest film festival in Africa right now.
Who is the founder? Who is the
Chioma Ude. Chioma Ude.
Chioma Ude.
It
Okay.
hosts filmmakers from around the world. I think they did the premiere of Wakanda in 2022 or 2023.
Okay.
The guys that starred in Wakanda, the Hollywood, came to Nigeria for that particular film
That's
festival when they did
fantastic.
the African premiere of that
Okay.
film.
That's
So
fantastic.
the
Yeah.
guest. So the idea of the film festival is to celebrate these filmmakers, get to ask them questions, get to know what their journey in that part for telling that particular story was like. And for those that we had the opportunity of having, like we had the opportunity of having the guy that did it from Bielsa, he came from Bielsa. We had the opportunity of having an online conversation with one of the student filmmakers that submitted her project from Philippines. I can't remember her name. And then we had the opportunity of talking with also another filmmaker that submitted a film from Canada. We were just limited because there was not much time, and we were trying to. We had talked with them, see what they do in film, and then also connect with our locality, people within the filmmakers within our locality. They share their experiences in film. They talk. They have a masterclass, a panel discussion section, and definitely an award for the films that we feel like the jury, because there's always a jury for film festival. People that screen the film and decide, oh, this film is what. Well, and you give that's all those film professionals that do that job. So the jury will now present an award to the best films in every category, from cinematography to directing to editing to sound to every other category that comes into play. So that's just typically it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So in terms of, let me just look at what I'm planning to ask you. In terms of you've talked about your influences, the fact that you learned your editing, who you learned your editing from and all that. So when you put together your various experiences now, what do you think? Do you think that you're someone that glues people together by, like, in terms of this film festival, or do you think you'll be doing a mix of filming, producing, and festival when you see the future?
Okay.
Where does your passion, what is your passion out of all of that? What are the influences? Because I could see for you to go and read 800 pages to try and do a festival, your passion, are you like multi-hyphenate? Are you into different things?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you are into different things.
Yes, like last year I did a music event, make music. Make
So
music.
you do events.
Yes.
You seem to be like someone who can pull people together and do events.
Yes, I think that was when it started from the first event I had while I was in the university.
Yes.
I worked with Rotary Club and some other students.
Yeah, and you bring different people together.
Yes, so events is something I think I have, not like I think, I know I have strength when it comes to events. Because the Make Music is an event, it's celebrated globally. But then I realized it's not done in the Southeast. No state. It's been in Lagos for 8 years. They've done Abuja, Lagos. So those of us that are in the village now, like the Southeastern village, we need to. So I spoke to the coordinator, as Mrs. Ayo, and I told her, why not let's do something in Imo? That was in 2022. Because when I came to Imo State, I was looking at things that could help me stay. Because another thing is moving to a place, another thing is staying and being productive there.
So you can create things. You're creating things.
Yeah. So I was looking at things I could do, but things I could be part of that would help me build a community here, that would make me be part of the community. So that was how I was trying to, the music community, the film community, the tech community, the creative community. I was just trying to get within this body and
bring it
because if not, everybody's moving to Lagos.
Yeah. So in terms of film, because like we live in very challenging times at the moment.
Yes.
So what would you, when it comes to technology, what do you think technology could do when it comes to filmmaking, when it comes to what you do? For example, how do you see technology in that?
Wow, I don't need to. For filmmaking, filmmaking is tech.
Yes.
Filmmaking is tech. I started from video editing. Video editing is tech related too. You see all those from commercials to ads to anything like animation. It's tech.
Yeah.
It's tech. So filmmaking, you cannot remove tech from filmmaking. It's not possible. You cannot remove tech. There is no how. Film has tech in it. Like for every particular project you've seen, you don't just you film with technical equipment, the camera, the sound equipment, all these things are technical equipment. And then you're looking at creating with people that are also technically inclined. You work with, let's say, okay, I'm as a producer, I work with, most of the projects I work with while planning my projects are tech inclined. There are softwares, there are apps, there are the AI also. I don't even need to talk about how much influence the AI has been in the film industry. Like these
so
are
AI is influencing. How is AI influencing the film industry?
Okay, right now, okay, I don't need to say more. But then
Just
recently,
say it. Listeners want to hear. They want to learn. Seriously, this is a podcast for hearing, learning, taking away people that are making or want to make films now. They're taking things away from you.
Okay, so someone sent a script to me, a 95-page script to me, and sincerely, there was no time to read through all this.
So you loaded it onto.
I asked the AI to do a breakdown of the script.
Yeah.
And so what, like in 2 pages, A4 paper. And it did it. And that was what I was able to read. And okay, I now see, okay, this is what the story is all about. This is what I'm excited. And then I read the opening and then I read the ending. Then, okay, is this something I can work with? Because it's cut down on time. Yeah. It's cut down on time. Because if not, every week, I also work at an academy now where I teach people, university students, filmmaking, film production, media production.
That's fantastic.
They were developing stories. So they developed close to 8 stories and they scripted it. And I couldn't imagine reading 8 scripts in a week.
So you found.
So I need to give. So that's one of there are many. I can't.
That you can use AI for. Okay. Yes. So in terms of like challenges, because I can see that there's no lack of creativity, there's no lack of ideas, and people are coming together. But what are the challenges in this industry? What are the things that are pulling you back? How you understand? What are the things that could change? Could be a game changer for you if you didn't have limitations.
Okay, if I didn't have limitations.
So what I'm saying is that what are the challenges? Start with the challenges and then what you think could be the game changer if you didn't have those limitations.
Okay, I think the primary challenge we face right now is partnerships. I wouldn't necessarily say sponsorships, partnerships. Definitely, I want to do a project and I have the idea. I don't have the equipment. I don't have the people. And I'm trying to talk to these two and that. And they're not, they just want to be paid. That's why I believe money is a legal tender, is an exchange. So it boils down to funding to an extent. It boils down to funding because any project, like we have the next film festival coming up this November.
Wow.
2nd edition. And I don't even need to talk about the challenges we faced because okay, I don't need to talk about the challenges we face because the more I think about it, the more I breathe in and breathe out because it's been But then we have the 2nd edition coming up November. Sincerely, there are some mistakes I made during the first year, and I don't like making the same mistakes again. And right now we are trying to rebrand because that one is another story for another day. Something happened, somebody came on and said, and after our festival, I got a call from that someone wants to do the same festival we did.
What?
Yet, like we finished the festival in November, I got a call first week of December, like a week after, from the manager of Havana Cinemas, because these were places. Prior to that first edition, I sent over 200 mails.
Nobody answered.
Okay, there are those that we corresponded with, but last nothing came true.
So they want to do their own festival.
So yeah, the same name. And then the thing was, I was trying to register because then I didn't, but now I've learned my lessons and I'm trying to do.
You register the name or anything like that, so anybody could just take it.
No, we registered, but then CSC did not approve it. So right now, if you go to CSC website and check Imo International Film Festival, you're going to be seeing two.
What?
I swear. So it's still mad to me that I was working on a name to register, finalize the registration, and CSC gave that same name to someone else. And this name was registered December 19th. That was like over 20 something days after we held the physical edition of our own festival. So it's mad, and I don't know what to say. And this man, the festival founder the person called me and was like, he has been in the industry for 30 years, whatnot. I was like, oh, yes. Thank you, Daddy. You've been in the
And
industry.
no collaboration, nothing, no. Because you guys could have collaborated if they agreed.
I don't think he was looking for, I don't know. But then if he wanted to collaborate, because right now, if you go online, and the thing is this, you cannot beat a child and expect the child not to cry. So at first, when I was told this, I was like, okay, let me stop the festival. But then I realized that I'm going to be in Owerri for a long time. As much as I travel to Lagos and other places for
This
work.
is where, because there's lots of things you can do. There's lots of possibilities.
Possibility. I see a lot
Yeah.
of possibilities. If not, one of my closest friends that made me come to Owerri has moved to Lagos.
Okay, yeah.
He moved to Lagos. And he kept telling me, Izu, move to Lagos, Izu. It's been a song. There's no time we talk on the phone. Izu, move to Lagos. That's the song he keeps singing.
Yeah.
And it's not like I don't want to move to Lagos, but then Lagos is made now. I'm here to help my community, definitely, as much as it's tough and all. But then I think these are some of the challenges I've fixed, and I'm trying to get to learn more and do, because I know if you know better, you do better. That's one thing I believe. So I'm trying to know better, and I'm trying to do better. That's really it.
Okay, so let me move on to our next question.
Okay.
Yeah, we've talked about the film festival. So what role do you believe African filmmakers have in shaping global narratives?
Yeah. Okay. Before I answer this question, I wouldn't forget to mention one of the filmmakers that changed my life and made me want to be a filmmaker.
Okay.
That man is Chris Ode.
Okay.
Chris Ode. I met him in 2022. So prior to 2022, I think I've not heard about Chris Ode. He's a film producer. I've not heard about him, but he was the one that produced the Living in Bondage, the new one, Breaking Free. He produced Rattlesnake, Yahanna Story, and then he produced Tokumbo that is currently streaming on Netflix, and then some other films. So I was lucky, I was blessed to be part of his masterclass. He does this masterclass every year. So the third edition, it was tough getting in, but then I came in as a volunteer at first because I applied to be part of it, but then I didn't reach I think they had criteria for this. But then, lucky enough, I got in. I went to Lagos for that first fight, for that masterclass. It was for 1 week. And seeing this man talk about film and share his experience in film, it was like, it was wow.
Big influence, yeah.
It was wow because he's the manager for Ramsey Noah. He's Ramsey Noah's manager. So he's not. His name doesn't ring a bell since he's not. You don't get to know directors and actors and producers.
Yeah,
you know
behind
the
scene.
actors.
Yeah.
But he is so much like he's shaping the industry in a way that I would love to shape the industry. But then not in his stories. But then the kind of stories I want to tell are stories that sincerely I still want to do a film about the Nigerian Civil War. I still want to tell that story. I want to, because I started researching about the Civil War sometime in 2012. I think I have this thing on, academia.edu that I've been writing and working on and compiling projects that concern the Civil War because it's something that has affected the Southeast. It has affected Nigeria. There's no how we'll put it. It has affected Nigeria. And I don't know if we'll ever heal. I don't know because every year something must come up. You people leave our land. This one, there's always a story. But then I'm looking at sharing this story not from a judgmental perspective, but from a perspective that shares the ideas from the key people that we are particularly keen. There's from Yakubu Gowon's perspective, from Ojipu's
Just, yeah,
perspective.
from everybody's perspective, just trying to understand it.
I don't know if it's going to be a documentary. I would love if it could be a documentary, but then
I
if
think
it's a film,
yeah, documentary would be great because just really looking at it because it's come up in so many different ways. Chimamanda did her own, what's the name? What's the title of her book again?
half of a yellow
Half
sun.
of a Yellow Sun. Then,
Yeah,
do you know Chigozie Obioma?
because he will be on
Yeah, I know he's Igbo, but I don't know which part he's from. And I don't know, I haven't got his book. I know I've got his book in another pile somewhere. He wrote a book about war, but I haven't looked at it clearly. I think it's a Nigerian civil war from the point of view of a soldier on the war front. So the soldier
wow,
that went to the war. So I'm yet to read
wow,
it because I'm a fan. Hi, Chicken, I'm a super fan. I'm just joking. No, I'm his fan.
wow,
So anytime, so he came for an author appearance. He lives in the States. So he came for an appearance recently and I went and I bought the book, got it signed, got some pictures taken because I'm a super fan.
wow.
But it's about war. So I'm looking forward to reading it because he's done it from the point of view, because he said where he's taking it from is the point of view of the soldiers.
Okay.
So this war, you can do it from so many different angles.
Point of view,
Yeah, so
yes.
it's almost endless, the different angles that you can actually, people had, and there were a lot of, when I went for the talk, there were people who were affected, whose family, who were there, whose family were affected by the war. People who were born here, who had family back in Nigeria, people who were mixed. It's incredible who had stories that they'd heard from back
Yes.
home. It was really good. It was really, really good. Yeah. So the war.
Actually, just checked him on Google right now,
Oh
and
yeah, check him. Chigozie Obioma
I,
is.
I saw the fisherman, and then I think
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he wrote to the country.
Of this,
He wrote
yeah,
to the
that's the one.
country.
Yeah, that's the one he's written recently about the war. But I'm trying to think whether it was the Civil War because I can't remember if it was the Civil War or if I think it was the Civil. It was. I think it was from the Nigerian Civil War. Have a look. I've got
Okay.
it somewhere. Yeah,
Wow, he's been writing for quite a while.
brilliant. A brilliant writer.
Wow.
Me, because I'm an author, so I'm a writer first and a filmmaker one day. But yeah,
Wow.
so is that someone? Go and have a look. Where is he from? Can you check? Where is he from?
Yeah, I'm checking his wiki, but I can't see where he's
I know
from.
he's Igbo. Igbo. I know he grew
I
up in
think he
Akure.
grew.
He grew up in Akure. Igbo that grew up in Akure so he grew up in Yoruba land.
Oh, I can't see where he's from. There's not.
Mm,
Oh, was born in 1986 in
mm,
Akure.
yeah.
Then, well, he could speak
Mm,
Yoruba, Igbo, and English. Wow, it's a
yeah.
reference. Wow.
So we were talking about technology and filmmaking. So we said so film is technology is film. There's no way you can't escape it.
Yes,
So in
yes.
terms of the future, because I know that you're passionate about the kind of work you do with youths. You've got quite a few years working with youths. So what advice would you give to young filmmakers who want to break into the industry with all the challenges that it shows? Because whether it will happen, people will come up.
Yes. Yes. I wouldn't tell them to be creative really. That for you to be in this field, you have to be creative. But then I'll
Want to
tell
be
them to,
creative. Okay, so
yeah, you
creative
don't,
first.
no, you have to be. I don't need to tell them to be creative. That way, you don't need to tell someone to book a ticket if they want to be on a flight.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's like a criteria. You
So
have
when
to
you
be
say to
really.
be creative, what do you mean by that?
Actually, I said I don't need to tell them to be creative, but then creativity could mean a lot of things for
That's
most
what
of
I
us.
yes. So that's what I wanted to know
So,
for you to break it down.
and creativity, it's you have a story. Everybody has a story. You're
Mm,
right. You're an author. So these ideas you have, you feel communicating it to people through books.
yes.
It's what you want to do right now. And
Mm-hmm.
as much as you could grow into, as much as there is limitless possibilities,
Mm-hmm.
because these books could be adapted into a screenplay, they could be made into a movie and
Mm-hmm.
all. This
Mm-hmm.
is what you want to start with right now.
Yeah.
So people that want to break into film, I always tell my friends and those that as much as you want to, most of the people that want to break into film actually want to act.
Oh.
Yeah, they want to act. They want to be the
Really?
star. they want to,
Oh, I
they
want
want
to
to,
act as well.
they want to star in the project.
I've always said I should make any of my books into a film. I must have a cameo role.
Yeah. It's good.
So
So,
most
but
people
what
want
I
to act. You think most people want to act? Really?
definitely,
Interesting.
this is my third year,
Mm-hmm.
2022, three. Okay, this is my third year. So I've met a lot of people. There's no week I don't get a chat. I got your number from this person. I would like to feature in any of your projects.
So as
Like
opposed So as opposed to wanting to make film, as opposed to being behind the scene, most people want to be in front of the camera.
majority of the people, they just want to be the star.
Really?
Definitely. I don't know if you've not met them. I don't know. Okay, maybe you've not met them, but majority of the people want to. If you were to start a film school in Nigeria now, the most attended class will be the acting class.
Why do you think that is?
Because a lot of people feel being the next Genevieve Nigerian people, being the next Jim Ike, they grew up seeing this guy on screen. So it's the idea is to be, especially for the extroverted ones that feel, yes, I can do
Okay,
it.
they feel they can.
Majority of the people, except maybe for the introverts, is intro for most of the time we see an editor is always an introvert. There might be extroverted editors, but most of the times the personality has to do with what they want to do in the industry. But then I would advise them, don't just rush in to come and act. Start from the production assistant. Go learn something first. Work under somebody. Go and go get somebody you're looking up to, someone you want to be like, not that you will be the person. And learn what the person is doing. Learn editing, learn video editing, learn cinematography, learn how to light, being a gaffer, learn how to walk from the back of the screen to the front of the screen.
Just know as much as possible.
Yes, but then actually I remember there was one of my friends in 2022. She met, actually we were not friends then. She just called me and was like, she wants to act, and she has been acting. And that was around the time I was working with my boss. I said, okay, no problem. But she was a student then. She graduated last year from UNN. So I remember last year she moved back to Lagos, and she called me sometime May this year. I was like, I remember telling her that time, she told me that as much as you want to act, don't come into the industry and tell them you want to act. Don't come to a place that making a film and tell them you want to act. There is a whole lot of people that want to act that are there.
Want to act,
there
and
is a line.
want to make money.
Everybody
and they are going
to
for the people
already.
that will bring money in anyway.
They're going for the faces. At this point, you don't have a face. There's nobody that's there's no faces.
Yeah.
So why not start from a place where you are adding value? Add value first, because when you want to act, you're not necessarily that value that you feel you can add. There are 101 people that can add that same value.
The same thing.
The same acting, even if you are Denzel Washington. Respect, I love Denzel Washington.
We love you,
Denzel. Actually, I want to invite Denzel Washington to Nigeria before.
Have you heard that, Denzel? If you ever watch Talking Tech with Creative Podcast, Izu Okafor, filmmaker, media specialist, producer, film festival organizer, wants you to come to Nigeria. We put it out there.
So actually, because I respect him a lot.
Oh yeah,
because being a Christian, I respect him a lot. So even if you're the next Denzel Washington, you need to start from find a value, find something you could do. Like when I go on a set, currently my friend is filming now, and I met this particular person last year, and this person has been in film 14 years before. He has been in film for the past 14 years. He's a very young guy, but I just spoke with him once. So when he had this project, when this project came up, he was calling me every day, consulting. What do I do? This is when he started paying the actors. I was like, he has been in the industry 14 years before me.
Still asking.
I'm barely here 3 years. He called me before, like the call I picked before, he called me, I was like, where are you at? I said, once I'm right up this, I'm going to his set.
Yeah.
So like, I feel they should want, and also I read, there's a book I read, it was 200 and something pages, producer to producer. I can't remember the name of the author. I read that book when I wanted to produce my first feature film.
So another thing is go and read. And study. So is it going on YouTube to watch or really read books? Where is the best place for them to learn? For books, it looks as if books you still have to read though.
It's hard, but it's
You
hard,
still,
but
what I'm saying that you still have to read.
you have to read. You
Mm,
have to read. You
mm,
have to, because I feel people, before you publish a book, you write it, you go back, you come back, read it again, you change some things, you come back. There is a review. So before you publish that particular work, you've checked, you are publishing to the best of your knowledge at that given time. So that's why when someone reads a book, they're getting the best of your knowledge at that given time.
Given time.
So as much as you can watch YouTube videos, and I watch YouTube videos too.
Yes,
like
you can get some knowledge. Yeah.
yes,
Go on.
currently I want to start directing.
Okay.
I want to start directing because I realized that being a producer is as the challenge. I feel I've overcome the challenge of being a producer.
And now
the
want
next
directing.
challenge is directing.
Yeah.
So because I feel right, I got a gig recently. The gig is for next year. It's an Israeli Nollywood collaboration. I'm going to be on the set as a line producer.
Israeli? Why Israeli? Israeli good. So is there collaborations like that?
Yeah, there are collaborations like that. The lady that she didn't reach out, actually. I was one that reached out for that particular job. I told her, I sent my CV, my film CV. And she was like, okay, I should do this. She should see how I do budgeting. I did budgeting and she was impressed. When she called, she was like asking me, what do this? I said this. I said, okay, no problem. I look forward to working with you on my project. And asked when this one is working. They said next year. Okay. So based on the fact that I've put like Chris Ode, I wouldn't fail mentioning Chris Ode. Chris Ode taught me the things I needed to know about budgeting. Those books also helped me. It drove it down home for me also. Because as much as you read, you hear, you mix it together, and then it gives you grounded knowledge. I didn't go, because I'm talking about those that didn't go to film school. Unless you're going to a film school. Film schools are very expensive.
They are.
Because I wanted to register for directing. I realized it was expensive.
I was even going to ask a question about how important you think formal education in film is compared to practical experience.
Formal education in Nigeria right now, they do. I think the government has introduced film studies.
Oh, fantastic!
Because before it was theaters, and how well the theater is doing in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So we needed to get to the film level, but then I realized the students have been working with our university, final university students. Sadly, they can't. Those in playwriting can't write a script.
Oh.
I'm not a script writer, but I know what a script looks like.
But do you know the funniest thing is that even BBC in England, they have lots of free, you can get free scripts to read. I'm saying if you sit down and read 100 to 200 scripts, you become a script writer.
Definitely. These guys are not.
But what I'm saying online,
I wouldn't read them.
They can go online. If you really want to do it.
They're limited in what they're searching. They're limited in the terms of what that be, because when I tell them these things here, they go checking because I don't tell them I don't have all the knowledge. These things are available to you. You have your phone, you have your laptops.
It's free.
Knowledge
is out there now. It's free. There's a lot of free knowledge out there before you even start paying.
Yes. But most of those, I don't know, I actually can't tell because it's a program that one of the lecturers wanted us to do. So it's been, I actually reached out to Imo State University for that particular project. And thank God it's actually working right now. This is the first batch. I'm looking forward to see how it goes.
So that's it. So you're teaching, so they're learning from.
Yes. And it's also, but then formal education is also very important. It has to go line in line with the practical. For me, I wouldn't say there was a formal education. I think it was more of a practical. And then I had to formally educate myself by reading. So I had to read, because if I didn't read, I don't know what I would have been. I don't know how it would have been like.
Yeah. So with everything that you're doing now, how do you have a balance? So that you don't burn out? Because I know it's so easy to burn out. Look at how you were doing the festival and everything. Burnout can happen. How do you guard against that?
Okay.
Work-life balance.
I don't know. Sincerely, sincerely, I feel I am young, and then I'm giving this energy for a purpose, and that's
okay. So you can work all the way till you drop, eh?
Today is Sunday. I'm at the office. I came in
Wow.
here
Mm-hmm.
because okay, from here I'm going to go into my friend's film set, the
Mm-hmm.
location where he's filming.
Yeah.
Going to be on set, assisting and helping in any way I can help.
Yeah.
Monday morning, I'm going to be back here in the office. I have a class by
Mm-hmm.
I think 3 p.m. I have a class 3 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
on film production too. So I don't know, but whatever works for anybody,
Mm-hmm.
however you think you feel you can rest. But I like getting enough sleep.
Okay. So you sleep enough. Okay.
I like getting enough sleep.
Good.
So
That's
that's
good.
one.
So that's a good balance. So what do you do for fun?
Oh, I play musical. I
Oh,
go out for
lovely.
karaoke. I love karaoke. I do hiking. I love, but then there's no place to hike in Owerri. I always
No,
hike in
no hills.
Enugu.
No hills.
No used to hike in Owerri.
But look for
This
something else.
Enugu.
You don't have to look for hills to hike. Look for something else that works with Owerri.
Yeah, so Owerri is more. If you've heard about Owerri, it's more of a vibey town. They have the bongo music. All those. I
Mm,
don't know if you've heard of. I don't know how to explain. But Owerri is a vibey town. Owerri
mm.
is like a town that parties from Monday.
So they always party.
There is always an event. There's always
Occasion
festivities.
events. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
but then I think I can't remember last time I've not done anything for fun since a very long while.
What we call. So you've talked about the people that you've worked with in the past, yes? So if you could work with any director, actor in the future,
Ah,
who would you like to work with? Who is your
uh,
dream people that you want to work with?
Denzel Washington, or what? Even if
Okay,
I'm the, I
outside
even
of okay, we've talked about Denzel Washington. Who else? Who else in Nigeria?
okay,
Let's say Nigeria,
okay.
for example.
Izu Ojukwu.
Who is he? He's got the
I don't
same
know how
name
to
as you.
start.
Wait,
Yeah,
what does he do?
He's a director.
Really, Izu
He's a
Ojukwu?
director.
Okay,
Yes,
I'll
he
go
was the one
find
that
out about
directed
him.
76. 76 was shot, I think, in Ibadan. Yeah, it was a film about the coup that happened in 76. Richard Ramsey Noah, Chidimokeme.
Muritala Mohammed.
Yes, yes, he gets it. He
If
gets
you
it.
say 76, I know
So,
it's Muritala Mohammed.
so I so much I look forward to working with you. Like, okay, funny enough, there is this project he's going to be directing
Mm-hmm.
very soon.
Okay.
And I've been calling him because I have his number.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you've
I've
been
been
calling him?
No, I didn't call him particularly. I just texted him on WhatsApp. I said, "Sir, I saw you're going to be part of this project. I would like to be the assistant. I don't care I don't even care if I just to whatever he wants me to be
You'll
doing.
carry the
Like
load.
recently, anything. Like I remember March, I did a particular project in Lagos and I worked with it was Chris Rode's particular project, and
Mm-hmm.
one that is going to be for Netflix. So I came there as an intern because I've not been on a project where you have 90 people, 90 crew on
Mm-hmm.
sets. It's a very big budget production. Chris Ode projects are really big budgets. It goes all out for filmmaking. It's not where you have 10 or 15. Like you had a coaster, you had over 6 to 9 utility vehicle conveying just the crew and the equipment.
Wow.
The camera that was used to film, to rent it for a day in the Nigerian Naira is also 890K. To
Wow.
rent it for a day. It's called Ari Alexa Mini LF. And the
Mm.
DOP has shot music videos for Asha, Whiskey, Daniel. So
Who
his
is
name is
he?
Casey
Who is
Obiajulu. Casey.
Is the one that has this camera?
No, he's not the owner of the camera. He's the DOP, the cinematographer.
Okay, when you said everybody here, people were all new to this.
Okay, the
Well,
DOP
I
is the
am new.
director.
Filmmakers, if you are listening, you understand what he's saying, but I don't. Who is the DOP?
The DOP is the director of photography. He's the
Director of photography.
cinematography.
So the
Yes.
director of photography has shot for, did you say Usher?
Asha.
Asha, Asha, I love her. Asha, I
Blanket.
love you. No, don't even start. Asha, I've gone to watch you at Royal Albert Hall because I'm your fan. So I'm a core. When they talk about Asha, I'm a fan. I've
Oh,
got
he
to
shot
watch
for
her in
Whiskey
concert.
too. Wow,
Eh?
wow. She shot for Whiskey too. Like he has shot
Okay.
for Whiskey.
And
So
what's his
he's the
name?
D. His name is Casey. Casey
KC.
Obiajulu.
Okay, Obiajulu.
Casey
KC.
Obiajulu.
Okay. So where are we
I think he
now?
studied film at the University of Jos.
Okay.
So I worked with him on set and I was a production intern on that set, but then when you see somebody and it's someone you look forward to working with and it's not parasitic, it's more saprophytic. just hold on. And I was serving him water. I didn't like, people go to set and they're like, do you know who I am? I don't know how to do it. I've not gotten anything that will make me feel, I'm not big, man. I'm not big. Don't mind.
I see you. The future is bright. I need to ask you a question. So in terms of film in Nigeria, what do you see as a future of film in Nigeria?
Wow. 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 Okay.
Because the reason why I'm saying this is there are things, people are working, things are happening from different places. And I know that
yes.
Nigeria is well respected for film internationally. What's the future? And in terms of, for example, streaming, I know there's Netflix and the other streaming. So how do we, I'm not saying that Netflix is not the best or anything like that, but where else can we see these things? So two questions I've asked you now. Number one, how do you see the future of film in Nigeria?
Okay.
And number two, which mediums can people use to consume this film? Which other mediums are there other than Netflix and YouTube?
Okay, 2022, I was talking with my friend, so we talked about this. If you know Igbo, you've heard of Kiriwe, like it's, I mean, for keep watching. So we wanted to start a streaming app where people could put up their filmmakers. This app, the thing is this, it's for filmmakers and it's for people that want to enjoy film. But then, fast forward, right now, like it's something we're still working on. It's a proposed project. It's registered. The name is registered with CSNO. It's something that we're looking forward to do in the future because it needs a lot of funding to do. But the target is basically Nigeria. The way Iroko did, they brought Jason Joko did, and that was like fantastic. What he did then was fantastic. I don't know why it's changed right now, but that is the same idea that's the same thing Netflix is doing. That's the same thing Prime is doing.
So the streaming, streaming.
Yeah, it's for streaming. So the future right now is really bright. It's really bright. But then I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical because it feels like we are in the power of the streamers. And the power of the
so gatekeeping, there's gatekeeping.
Yes, they are the gatekeepers that if you don't do according to what they would want, or they might not buy your content, they might not fund your content. And being a creative, most of the times we need funding to create. But then that's where you talk about people like CJ. CJ Obasi is one filmmaker that is doing so well. He's from Imo State. He went to government college. I've not met him before, but he's someone I look up to when it comes to film. Someone I also want to work with. Also, I really love to work with him. He did a Mami Water last year. So
I think was he on Netflix?
I don't think he's on Netflix. I don't know if he's on Netflix yet, but the film did so well that yeah, it was shot on black and white.
Okay. So, okay, I've not seen it.
I think filmmakers here should also do project targeted at the global community and send it to festivals. As much as it's tough and festivals are expensive, most of the festivals, the international festivals, are expensive to send your film to. But just give the global community a test of what we can do by doing projects that you've gone all out. Project that I actually keep telling my filmmaking friends is this: we cannot come and do film and try to do our cities, show them our cities and towns and how beautiful our cars are or the tech we have. We don't have such. They will always beat us. Let's go back to our grassroots. Let's do something dated 80s. Show them, okay, this is how. Show that I loved Queen of Ketwa.
Yes.
I loved Queen of Ketwa. It told a story about the chess girl that I loved stories like this because there are stories that connect to a community. I wish we could do more of stories that connect to our community, stories that tell about our community, because this is what people want to know. They want to know what makes me.
Authenticity. They want authentic filmmaking.
Authentic stories.
Yeah, I love
because right now what we see on YouTube is romance. No problem.
That's when I see that, you get fed up after a while. You really sometimes want to know, and people connect with you when you're authentic. Like I was telling you about my food stories. My food stories are all about me with my grandmother when I was young. So sometimes I'll write about grilled fish, and it will take me back to growing up with my grandmother. And then from there, and then remember, oh, this country and this country does grilled fish. And people are reading it. What I'm just saying is that people want to connect. They're not looking, they don't want there's a place for everything. There's a place for romance, there's a place for mystery, there's a place for all of this. But yeah, connection, authentic connection is important. I just finished watching a Japanese film, a film just set in Japan, because I like watching things about food.
Oh, I love Japan. I would love to travel to Japan.
It's called the Grand Maison Tokyo, and it's about these people in Japan trying to open a high-ended French restaurant in Tokyo. It was brilliant. 11 episodes. I crushed it. I want more. Netflix, give me more food stories. Yeah, no. So yeah, that was brilliant. It was so authentic. The reason why I loved it was it showed, that if you don't go into someone's culture and see behind the scene, you only see it showed the fun side of Japan. That's the first time I'll see the fun side of the Japanese. They were so funny. There was fun, there was sadness, there was crying, there was all sorts in there. But I saw the fun side. That's the first time I'll see. It wasn't even a comedy, but that was the first time I saw that fun side. So that's how important these stories are. Not polished romantic stories and all that. We need more than that. Anyway, we've gone way past time. So now, what is the most important message filmmakers should convey to this is my final question, to their audience today? We talked about authenticity, didn't we?
Yes, we talked about authenticity. Yeah, for a filmmaker, I think most of the stories I tell, let me use my films as an example. In case the Dinobi is not out publicly, we're trying to get distribution partners for Dinobi.
Yeah,
it was on physical abuse. It's a story about physical abuse.
Oh, it's physical. Okay, so abuse. Okay.
Physical and mental abuse.
The
mom is dead. The dad married and then had to go search for greener pastures and left the guy with the stepmom.
Oh no.
Stepmom got instigated to start feeling like the guy hates him, and my friend told me about the story in 2021. So, and I could connect to it because we've heard stories like this. It's something that we're used to.
Yes.
And it's not hidden. It's as much as I can't come telling a story about gunfights in Nigeria, because how many times do we do gunfights? we don't really do gunfights.
The police that have the guns anyway.
Yeah. As much as the actions are there, but then things we could relate to.
Yeah.
So these are stories I want to tell. Okay. I want to tell stories people will be like, oh, stories that you watch and it takes. I like stories that are cultural. I love cultural stories. I love stories that tell about a tribe. I want to watch a film and they speak Yoruba. The way Koreans will push their films down on us, they speak Korean from the beginning of the film to the end. And then you're using
because I've watched so much K-drama, I can speak a bit of I can. Even when I was watching the Chinese.
Yes.
So
we need to. They keep saying culture is a people's way of life. I think that's the definition that I was given in primary school. Culture is a people's way of life. We should be able to show our way of life through the picture we put on the screen.
Yeah.
Our way of life, not right now there. And then we should be also be able to tell the story about our past, our present, and where we are going to. We have a future in view. What are we looking forward to see? As much as I know Nigeria is the way it is, I plan on making films that show, as much as I know there is no perfect society. There is never a perfect society, but a film because these films affect human. Like I grew up watching films. I remember those days when I watch a Chinese Kung Fu film, I'll come back, I'll feel like I'm Jet Li or Jackie Chan, ready to fight. I'll just get it like crazy. And so I feel these things affect the mind.
So Izu, thank you so much for talking to our audience today. It's been very informative. All the works you've done in the grassroots. We look forward to connecting with you in the future, following your journey.
Sure.
And collaborating. All these people that you named, every one of you, if you heard Izu today, he wants to work with you. So connect with him. Now, where can our listeners connect with you? Which platforms are
Okay,
you most active on?
I'm very active on LinkedIn. I'm
Yes.
very active on LinkedIn. As much as I have Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Izu of Jilob. You can search Izu Okafor on Google right now. I think since I started filmmaking, I noticed the more I search myself, the more I see more of myself.
I saw a lot of on you on Google.
So you can send me a message on Instagram, Izu Okafor, or Izu of Jilob at Izu of Jilob.
Of Julop, okay. At Izu
Yes, of
of
Jilob.
Julop, okay.
Jilob.
Julop, okay. LOB. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you
Yeah.
so much. I really appreciate you coming today and
Thank you very
see you next
much.
time. Thanks a lot.